Mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Hi, Game on, Metalon. How are you? Mm. Okay. Hi, how are you? Hope you're doing. I'm doing pretty good. Thank you. How are you? Okay. Okay. Let me do this. Okay, finally. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there we go. Okay. I'm doing good, just at work on my break. It's nice to see you. Thank you. It's nice to see you too. It's been a while since I've seen you. But I've been going live um like in the morning, so maybe that's why I haven't seen you, but glad that you're back. Okay. So, uh anything coming in love for me from now until the end of the year? Anything coming for you now in love? 13? Uh no, it used to be 15. Yeah, I did a lot. Okay. Uh I don't know. To me, this is like this is all about like you kind of staying where you are, and kind of like keeping on, or like this, like you again like putting up defenses and still kind of like keeping something protected. So again, there's a lot of like you kind of wanting to remain in control, and putting up defenses, and uh, like again, like you kind of not really going into isolation, but just like keeping yourself protected and kind of putting up these defenses and these like shields and mental blocks. And then we with the King of Cups here in reverse, this is like you having a hard time kind of overcoming emotional blows, and kind of just having like a pessimistic outlook caused by negative past experiences. So again, to me this feels like a no. If anything, I kind of just see you being more like hidden, and kind of wanting to keep to yourself, and kind of like protecting your peace here. um so again, to me this feels like a no. Yeah, and then the Ace of Wands is also in reverse, which is a lack of energy, restrictions, and kind of you kind of facing this creative block, and kind of having repressed emotions, so like nothing really moving anywhere. So again, to me this feels like a no. Yeah, pessimistic outlook, keeping yourself protected. I also kind of see you like not giving people time, you know? Hi Trimzilla, how are you? This is about like you not letting people in, but it's coming from a place of you kind of wanting, like, questioning people's intentions, and then kind of questioning like your own motivations. Again, like it's like a pessimistic outlook, and lack of energy. Like it kind of feels like things have no purpose, no point, and I think this is gonna continue for you here. Game on, Metalon. Uchumzilla, hi, how are you? Katie, R38, how are you? But sorry, game on middle on. To me, this is a no. Yeah, I did change my name on here. It used to be 15. Um, I changed it a long time ago. I don't know, it didn't really make sense. I mean, like, it made sense to me, but it didn't really make sense for, like, to people, so I went with something easier, but I'm still doing the same things. Oh, Drumzilla, are you gonna be able to move into an Edgar Miller apartment, famous artist here? Three of Cups, which is, hold on, game on middle on. Okay, so Trumzilla, Three of Cups, again, this is, I do think so. This is like something that kind of brings you joy and happiness. Um, I do think, okay, there are issues with, like, no, I'm gonna say it's a yes, but, like, again, this is like collaborations, but this is also like a common project that's kind of motivated by not only like a common interest, but also uh like feelings. Like, there's like it's like a common project that's motivated by feelings, and by not only just by an interest. So to me, it was like a yes. Again, collaborations, and then the Page of Wands is in reverse, which is, I like, okay, like, this is like, if you kind of go into this is kind of telling you that you are gonna need collaboration, so like help from somebody else, and this is also like a task that's way too heavy for your own strength. So, like, I like, this might be you kind of having a hard time controlling your desires to do this, and having a hard time, like, with your own urges, and kind of like having a very immature approach to this. Maybe it's kind of telling you that you need to plan better. And then the Seven of Cups, again, which is like kind of like you being alone, but um like, this is like you kind of having a hard time being part of a collective, or being part of like feeling isolated and alone. um I don't know, to me it's like, I'm gonna say it's a maybe. Like, if you can get the help, if you can um collaborate with somebody else, then I do think so. However, if you kind of do this alone, it's going to be very hard, because you are kind of putting yourself in a situation where you are kind of like you against a lot of, like, people. It's like you um being, like, feeling alone even though there's people around. So again, with the Seven of Cups in reverse, this is like you kind of having problems integrating into a group or into an organization, and still feeling alone even though you are part of a collective. So yeah, to me, this is there's like potential, but it's kind of like leaning to a no. Sorry. Okay, Katie, I see your question. Honestly, even when I give someone a chance and it's going good, somehow they just become distant and leave. So I do have a pessimistic outlook. Yeah, I kind of just see you kind of like not engaging. Like, even if people kind of show interest, I kind of see you putting up defenses and kind of going into isolation, and it's like not even giving them a chance. I'll absolutely need help for sure. I need capital. I feel that way right now. Yeah, Trimzilla, I do think there's potential again with the Three of Cups. There is collaboration and kind of like you working with somebody to do this, but if you get too excited and you just kind of go all in, I do see you having problems there. Okay, Katie, my husband and I are trying to adopt. We've been in talks about a little girl. Things are taking forever on the other end. Is she our daughter? What should I do moving forward with the adoption? Yes, you take care, Game on Middleon. It was so nice seeing you here. Okay, Katie, let's see. I feel like a lot of like these like legal issues, they're always gonna be messy. So let's just see what we get. Okay, so this is gonna be Katie the situation, the obstacle, and then the solution. Okay, so the situation is this hanged man in reverse. So I feel like this isn't an issue with you or like an issue on your end. This is like a lot of isolation happening. Um, Isolation, kind of living in private reality instead of like living life. I Okay, this is like internal issues. The situation. This is like things that happen in private instead of like in reality. So again, maybe people are like telling you things just to like I don't know. It's like when you tell somebody like a generic answer just to like keep them quiet. This is what this is, because like this is living in private instead of living in reality, and it is also kind of a um pretending to be normal, or like striving to be normal in like at all costs. So now the obstacle, it's this Nine of Swords in reverse. So the Nine of Swords has to do with defenses. It has to do with winning a fight against superior forces and having pure intentions, and kind of putting imperfect things to good use. So the to me the obstacle would be, are they like kind of questioning intentions here with the Three of Cups also being in reverse. This could be about problems in relations with like the Three of Cups is a card of like problems with relations with parents and children. This is a strong alliance of two people that kind of leaves somebody out. So I do kind of think that the situation or the main obstacle, it's kind of questioning intentions. And like to me this feels very like legal-ish, where people are like collecting evidence. And again, because there's like problems with parents and child, and again, like it's people working together that leaves somebody out of. So in this case, maybe it would be like the child and then the agency working together, and that leaves you out, so again, with the Nine of Swords, that's like losing, I mean, not losing, um well, it could be losing, because like this is the obstacle could be losing against a stronger opponent and imperfect preparations for a challenge. So I think what this could be is like somebody not doing, like things weren't prepared correctly, so now there's like issues with like relations. It could be like maybe their parents, like their like biological parents, like issues like that. Um, and then with the solution, it's the Ace of Swords. So the solution would be like a planned initiative and kind of like thinking rationally and logically about this. But I do think that the main obstacle has nothing to do with you. It has to do with like the child's parents and the child. Because again, the Three of Cups, it's uh problems with child and parent, and then the Two of Wands here is kind of being on a crossroads and keeping options open, and it is also kind of like every course of or every option is gonna have its own benefit, and it is also kind of like blocking someone else's line of advancement. So again, I do think that there's like problems maybe with like I kind of see this as like the agency and then like it's the child's parents and then you, and there's like these two leave you out, and then this is like the agency's keeping their options open. So that's why they're not, and that's why they are going into hiding and not really saying anything. And again, like there's a disconnect between what they say and or like with what they don't say and how they present their answers. Or like by the way they present their answers, it kind of like there's a disconnect between what the truth is. But the solution here is just to have a like to plan better. But again, I don't think this is your um like this isn't your solution, like this is like you can't plan better if it's not like if you are not in charge of the one planning. So yeah, I think that's what the obstacle is that there's like problems with their parents. Again, I feel like legal stuff, it is pretty like messy, but like this kind of looks like to me it's kind of like someone's keeping their options open, and that's why they're not like deciding anything. And there's problems with leaving somebody out of conversations, and I feel like it's like the child's parents and then like the agency. I haven't even gotten to talk to them yet. It's all just been communication. Okay, so then like it might be like the social worker. I think what it is like they're just trying to keep their options open. Like I think that's what the main obstacle is. And then with the Nine of Swords again, that's like maybe somebody didn't plan correctly because again, this is like imperfect preparations for a challenge. Sloppy, kind of like um yeah, like being very sloppy, not being able to prepare correctly. And like having problems with like communicating with people and then keeping options open. And then what should you do moving forward with the adoption? What should you do? What should you do? Ooh, okay, like this is interesting to me because like this is somebody um again with the Emperor and then the King of Cups. These are both in reverse. The Emperor is a person who has like who's denying their own inner weakness but is also kind of trying to solve things by force. like being forceful kind of I feel like maybe what you should do is like bother them more, because like this is like a person who solves things by using force. And I'm not saying like be like aggressive, but I'm just saying uh like yeah, like to me this is like ask more, call more, like maybe like you need to sound more, or like make it known that you are like super interested, you know. um that's kind of what this looks like to me with the King of Cups being in reverse again. Like even though this is the King of Cups in reverse has to do with like having a hard time overcoming emotional blows, and again like don't let this kind of change your outlook on the situation, because this is again a person who has a pessimistic outlook that's caused by negative past experiences. So I would say like don't let this kind of change your perspective on, or like intentions on the process. Again, maybe like you need to make it known, maybe you need to do more, you need to like I kind of feel like maybe you need to bother them more here. Judgment, yeah, with the Judgment card also being in reverse, this is all about like you need to reveal things that maybe should have that you should keep to yourself. Like maybe like this is like you kind of expressing emotions more to them. um Again, like this is could also be like, this is like so interesting because of the Judgment card is also a card of like problems related to child parent relationships, too much noise, too much drama, and also again like uh reveal information that should have been kept hidden. And kind of like be open to like reveal your own emotions. So maybe like this is like being more emotional and kind of put your emotions, or like um I'm kind of getting of like this, like you push them using your emotions, you know, like you push them uh by and tell them how you actually feel, even if you think that you are oversharing. I think that's what the the Judgment card here is. Unpleasant realizations, and again like like there needs to be this like almost lack of privacy coming from your side. But yeah, I do think that there was a lot of imperfect preparations, and you need to push more by revealing information, revealing feelings. The only reason why I say feelings, it's because the King of Cups is there, and again the King of Cups, it is a person who has like emotional maturity, and who has the ability to overcome like past injuries, and who can kind of look ahead and to be open to new things. So again, a lot of like emotional maturity, so you kind of need to use your emotions and like reveal information about your intentions. But yeah, that's what I got for you here, Katie. Thank you. Yes, of course, Katie. I think I'm gonna do like a collective message. Okay, I think I am. Okay, I'm gonna hide the chat just so I could get this to look better. Okay. I'm gonna minimize. Oh fuck, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, that's scary. Okay, so I think this is gonna be like a collective reading. What is a message that we all need to hear? Again, this is gonna be a collective message for what is it that we need to hear? What is a message that we need? Okay, so let's just do what is this? Oh, I think two of them. Oh no, just one came out. Okay, so this message is about the Ten of Cups and about kind of feeling like a falling leader, kind of losing. I feel like this is like losing contact with people, or like losing contact with um, or like losing popularity. Maybe like at some point you were talking to people, or like you were kind of needed for something, and now you were kind of maybe like you were kind of ghosted in a way. Because again, like this is like you kind of losing popularity, kind of losing um maybe even support, feeling like you were, or like maybe like this is like you feeling disappointed because at one point you were needed for something, and now it kind of feels like you were kind of pushed to the side. That's what the message is about. Let's just do again the situation, the obstacle, and then the solution to this. So situation, it's the emperor. Okay, so the situation here, the emperor. So this is a situation of, again, I feel like maybe it has to do with like how you showed your leadership and how you showed responsibility, because like this is like all about kind of going in a practical direction. So like this is like having material achievements, and again kind of like it could be like matters relating to like the workplace, or how you show your authority, your control, and you just being in a position of power. So again, it kind of just makes sense with kind of feeling like a fallen leader, kind of feeling like you were not, or that you were no longer needed. It could also mean like military affairs, things like that, just like you being in a commanding position. And this is also kind of being tied up with this vibe of, I mean, with this of wands. So with the seven of wands being upright, this is a struggle. This is like somebody putting up a fight against many opponents. This is also like kind of keeping your own position in a conflicting situation. Again, a lot of uncertain outcomes, and but like there is like endurance. Like maybe has been going on for a while, but again, the this whole situation is about you being in a commanding position, being in a position of power and authority, and now you are kind of fighting against, or like you are kind of protecting yourself, and again struggling to keep your own position in this time of conflict. Again, there's a lot of uncertain outcomes here. Yeah, struggles. Okay, now the obstacle. What is the main obstacle here? The force in reverse. I feel like maybe you. It could be like maybe you took control of of a situation yourself. Um, and now again, like this is like a need for you to keep things under control, and it kind of leads to constant tension. So like to me, it's kind of like how you use your own strength. It's doing more harm than it is doing good. because this is like a lot of internal conflict, and like there's an unrealistic assessment of how you use your own force and how that leads to failure. So again, the main obstacle here it's how you keep things under control. Maybe you're being too like demanding. Maybe you are losing the trust of people, and like you were once very well liked, but now it like that has kind of like turned on itself because like you are controlling things too much, and again using your own strength in a way that's hurting you instead of like helping you. Again, the way that you use your own strength, it's leading to failure, and this is paired with the Queen of Swords in reverse. So with the Queen of Swords being in reverse, this is again like you. There's like so many like this is like about you having fixed ideas that always lead to like your fixed ideas are blocking the advancement, and it's precluding new connections. Again, this whole situation is about you being you were once very well liked, and you were respected, and you were again like you were a leader, but I think that you took too much power that now people don't like you anymore, and you are kind of fighting back against the people who you once helped. Again, Queen of Swords in reverse, this is um being very defensive, blocking like your fixed ideas, again blocking and precluding new connections. There's a card that fell here. I don't know if I can get it. Yeah, hold on, let me get the card. Fell to the ground. Okay, this is the 10 of coins here. So the 10 of coins, it could be like materialistic views, but it is. I mean, with the 10 of coins, it doesn't really matter if it's upright or not. But like this is a lot of intense activities and practical affairs, a lot of material success, achievements. I feel like there's some things. Are you like showing favoritism here? Because like this is like some people are getting more than others. There's like an imbalance of how you share your time and how you share your like or how you give directions, and like some people are getting more than others, so people like I think the main obstacle is yes it's how you use your strength and how you give directions, and I think people are mad. I think that's why there's like so much backlash here, because some people are getting more than others, and the people who are getting less than what you previously gave, they are the ones that are getting upset. But yeah, but these are all in reverse. And then with the star being the solution, the star in reverse. So with the star, this is like I feel like you need to be okay with. Okay, no. Okay, so the star being in reverse, this is like having a hard time setting boundaries, wasting a lot of energy, and then you kind of exposing yourself to dangers or like yeah, to like dangerous situations, like wishful thinking, naive optimism. The solution here, wishful thinking. I feel like this is like wishful thinking and then kind of moving into that direction. I know I feel like the answer would be to like to stop trying to be in control of things. But like this is like telling you to keep going or like to keep moving into that direction even if people are not even if people get mad. Even if people even like if the people who you once helped, like this is like you need to fight against them, because like this is like you have this vision in mind, this is this like wishful imagination, and this with the Knight of Coins, this is telling you to keep going into that direction. And like this is, I feel like what's going on is because, okay, I think the main obstacle now becomes, I don't think that you are communicating your idea the most clear way, because the Knight of Coins, this is like you having a very clear goal inside and having a like a very productive way of how you express your own creativity. I think where I think what the issue is that you are not communicating how you want to move forward correctly. And even though like maybe like how you feel, it's that maybe that you need to go back, but again with the Knight of Coins moving, I mean being upright, that's about like you, the solution here is to keep moving into that direction, like this like wishful thinking but with a purpose. Even though it feels like you are maybe wasting too much energy into this, I think that wasting energy, or like it's not really wasting energy, it's just about you kind of pouring out, you know, with hope. You pouring out with hope, hoping that it leads somewhere. This is telling you to keep going because you have a clear goal in sight, and you are kind of being very practical with the way that you move. This is yeah, even though like some are getting less than others, I think some people kind of get what you are trying to do and some people don't. I think that's what, like in terms of your goal, because again like this is a person going after their goal, and the way that you communicate your goal and the way that you use your strength to talk about the goal, some people get it, some people don't get it. But yeah, keep going in that direction. I feel like this is like the only emotional card. It's the 10 of coins, I mean the 10 of cups, and that's about like you making people unhappy and feeling like a fallen leader. But again, just because you feel like a fallen leader doesn't mean that you are a fallen leader. That's just how you feel. And you feel like this because again, people are fighting you, or like you are having to defend yourself, your ideas, your position. But again, if you are the emperor in this situation, I feel like you have this ability to kind of look ahead. So again, whatever you are doing, you need to keep moving into that direction. But yeah, that's what I picked up here for you guys, or for us. Hi, Origin Foods. How are you? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me turn my little my chat and my little. Okay, there we go. Thank you, guys. Again, if you guys have any questions, just comment your questions down. But thank you. Hi, Crunch, Almond, Element, Elam. Yeah, you can. Hi, Origin Foods. I wanted to ask about the response would be to the art film I made with Balenciaga pieces and music about Huntsville, Alabama, feeling Garden Cove, produced and abandoning the health mess. Origins Foods, I don't understand. Like What's the question? Origin foods. I don't know what that means. Okay, a crunch. Type the question again. Origin foods. Maybe am I dumb? Maybe I just don't know how to read. But type the question again, please. Okay, this one's for crunch. Oh hi, uh, Parad Paradiban. How are you? Okay, how would people take the art film? Okay, 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 gotcha. I keep getting sad. May I know if there is any sad event coming to hit me and where this is coming from? I am Kate. Hi, Kate. So why do you keep getting sad? Why do you keep getting sad? You keep getting sad. Let's see. So this can be situation, main obstacle, and then the solution here. Okay, so for the situation, we have love in reverse. And this is, I feel like, okay, the situation here has to do with your connections and your, okay, so the lovers card, this is complex relationships between several people, and it could be like romantic triangles or like tensions between people. But again, I feel like this is just hesitations, and you being confused about your own feelings and your own will. So again, the main situation here about why you feel this way is coming from complex relationships between several people, and and you feeling hesitant about, or like, uh not really hesitant, but just you are confused about what, about like how you should actually truly feel, because again, like the love card has to do with how you followed the path of your own heart, and how, and like inclinations of of how your heart corresponds to your own will. So again, that's those are just like very fancy words for what your heart is kind of telling you to do, and what's at the root cause of this. So again, that's just about you being confused about how it is that you feel, and complex relationships between several people. Maybe it could be like your parents or friends. The love card is like very specific to like connections to like your, between like mother and, or like wife, but it could really just be anybody. So the main obstacle here, it's this 10 of coins in reverse. This the main obstacle, it's I feel like, okay, there's a lot of intense affairs going on. Achievements, and some are getting more than others. Let's do one more for clarification on the 10 of coins. Force. Okay, so for the obstacle, we have the force and the 10 of coins. The force card is how you use your own strength and how you use like your own inner resources to get the things, or like to get things done, to how you use your power and your courage to face challenges. This is a very controlled expression of your own creative urges, your drives and your desires. And again, it's kind of how you utilize your inner resources towards a common goal and how you take a risk. This being paired with the 10 of coins, which again, it is about like, I feel like what's going on is this is like complex relationships between many people. And then the 10 of coins, this is like having many, like a lot of intense activity in many practical affairs. Some are getting more than others, and I think what's going on is that you are not utilizing like your inner resources. It could be like your time, it could be like maybe like your heart isn't really in it, and you are having a hard time kind of um pouring yourself out into like many different like categories or like into different things in your life. And again, this is like some are getting more than others, and you really wish that you could kind of like share your time evenly, or like share or like give out evenly between many different things. And this is like there is an imbalance between how you can how you spread. I don't know, to me it's like you're spreading yourself too thin, and between like many different things, or like you are over giving to many different things that now you feel like empty in a way, or like you feel like you can't keep up with how you share your like your inner resources. Yeah, because this is like a lot of practical affairs, and you kind of pushing yourself, or like you giving too much of yourself into many things, and then again feeling empty or feeling like you are not doing enough. Or like this could also be like, what is it that you actually care about? Because maybe you are putting your strength, and maybe you're mobilizing your own strength and your desires into things that don't really matter. Because like this is like at the end of the day you still feel empty, or like you still feel like you are not doing enough, but it's because you are not putting enough of what it is. You are not putting enough of yourself into the things that you want. And like instead, like you are putting yourself, or like you are putting your resources into things that don't matter, that when it gets time, or like when it comes to the time to you putting time into the things that you want, there's nothing left for you to put in it, because you have already put so much into things that don't matter. And then the solution here, it's the 8 of coins. So with the 8 of coins being the solution, this is just about how like this is a uniformity, and it is like a very slow and patient advancement, but it's kind of about maybe the solution to this, it's to keep doing, like this is me not, I don't want you to give up on the things that don't matter, because like this is like you still need to do the work, and you still need to kind of be there. But I think that for the things that you don't really care about, you don't need to try as much, or like you don't need to try, or like you don't need to do more work than what you have to, because this is like practical considerations and kind of being proven efficient, but it's by a lack of human touch. Like, does that make sense? This is like routine work and a very slow and patient advancement, but it's because you only give the bare minimum to keep the thing moving, but like don't give too much, because it's still gonna move regardless of how much energy you put into those things. But again, it is like that, like it's like almost you becoming like a robot, like a mechanical structure, and like routine work. Like you know how like a routine doesn't need extra work, it just happens because it's routine. That's kind of what this is. It's kind of like there's things that are routine, so you don't need to put in extra work. But I think that's what's going on. Kate, sorry. A sad event coming. I feel like if there is any sad event, I feel like it's just you feeling bad about, or like feeling unhappy because you are gonna feel like you wasted a day by not doing what you were, by not doing what you wanted to do that day. I think that's what, like, if there is a sad event, I think that's what it would look like. But yeah, again, hope it gets better for you. Again, come back, tell us what you're doing. But I do think that you are kind of spreading yourself too thin. Okay, origin foods. How are people gonna take your film? Like, what is like the reaction of people? And then 77, Mateus Lisa. Hi, how are you? Okay, how are people gonna react to the film? Francis John, hi, how are you? Okay, how are people gonna react? Oh, this is like a good thing here for you. Origin foods. You have the six of coins and then the two of cups. Hi, positive bear, how are you? Okay, so with the six of coins, this is like expansion and abundance, like abundance of a resource, many possible ways for you to advance, and like just like I feel like people, they are going to take it well because this is having a positive outlook and having success and kind of finding like a very good balance between stability and movement. And then the two of cups, this is all about partnerships and like relate, like having very close personal alliances, um like a lot of like interpersonal dynamics based on like social norms. um but yeah, to me this is like there's gonna be maybe like perhaps collaboration where people are gonna feel inclined to like work together. I don't know, like this is all about like connections happening. It's almost like a click that happens. And again, like this is like a even, or like a balanced relationship where like there is an even give and take. So again, whatever someone puts in, that's the same that somebody else puts in, and again, there's just that collaboration of partnership here. So again, abundance, expansion, and collaborations, partnerships, and then the Eight of Swords, which is, I feel like okay, some people are going to feel. I think your biggest issue is going to be people kind of being stuck in like in their ways, because like this is psychological defenses, and like somebody putting up shields, putting up blocks, and kind of feeling like that they need to guard something. But this kind of just feel like somebody maybe putting like a boundary around something, or like I don't know, to me it's like somebody feels like it should have been kept like not hidden, but it needed to be like developed better, or like I don't know, to me, because like this is the Eight of Swords has to do with like somebody feeling not invited, or like this is like entering someone else's space without permission. So like I feel like somebody is going to feel, look, it's kind of like an eye also. It's like watching. Um but yeah, it kind of feels like somebody could be putting up defenses, or like maybe being defensive, putting up shields, putting up blocks, um and like feeling like you did this without their permission, or like without their approval. But I overall I feel like this looks pretty good. Um Putting up shields, putting up blocks. However, there's like optimism here. Putting up shields, putting up blocks, and the Four of Wands, which is Four of Wands. Four of Wands is temporary stops in order to prepare for future advancements, keeping neutrality between sides. I feel like this is also connected to, I mean, like these people that kind of feel like not invited in a way. This is also tied to tensions happening. I feel like they might even try to like put a stop to it, because like this is temporary stops in order to prepare for future advancements, and this is like making a move. It's not really in no one's best interest. So again, I feel like these people are going to give you like a hard time here. But overall, again, there's abundance, expansion, and like people talking. Maybe again, this is like shared connections and partnerships, and an even, not uneven, but an even exchange of communications. So I feel like pretty good stuff, except for this. Positive Bear, hi, how are you? How are you? Thank you. Yes, of course. Origin Foods. Let me read the chat. Hold on. Uh, Para Paradeban. Hi. Okay, that's your new question. Okay, okay. Okay. Thank you. My avatar is a mural that recently got erased. Oh, that's crazy. It's also the thumbnail to the art film. It's now a white wall with a for lease sign on it. That's crazy. That's definitely the former owners. They called my work fraudulent. That's kind of like gross. I'm sorry that that happened to you. They should be. They destroyed their own agent legacy. I didn't need their permission. I worked and shopped there. They didn't own that building. That's my footage too. No, yeah. I mean, well, when I was in college, because fun fact, I went to college for communications. Uh, but like the what's like the legality of it? Like, first of all, I don't think they're gonna do anything. I don't think they're gonna sue you. But like, are you like allowed to film like there? Because like yes, like it is your footage, but like were you like doing it without their permission? I know for like if you were like, okay, I think that if you were like, I think that if you are what was that law, or like what's that rule that it's kind of like if you are doing something to help the community, you don't really like the privacy like law doesn't affect you because like I like imagine one of your neighbors was doing really bad things to like a lot of people. Like let's just say they were like kidnapping people and like doing bad things to them inside of their house. You have the right to go in and film because you are like doing something, like you are exposing something. Like does that make sense to you? Like you do have that right. So yeah, so I feel like you are like like I feel like if you're doing something like that, then you are good. But I feel like that it's not that extreme. But like maybe that's like a good thing if you expose something and they make a big deal about it. That could be better for you. It's been abandoned for 9 years. It's called the Good Samaritans Act. I'm with the Red Cross and we're protected. Okay, gotcha. You know, narcissistic person. Wait, is the film on your channel? Can I watch it or no? Or is it not out? Or like, are you gonna post it someplace? Okay. I know I'm missing people here. Parrot Devon, I know you asked something. I'm gonna answer that. Um, JVX77. Type your question. Francis John, yeah, you can. Positive Bear, you just want general guidance. Got you. Oh please. Okay, I will. Origin Foods. I can't watch it because I'm on my computer, but when I get off, I will. It kind of reminds me. What was that book about? Like when they exposed like the meat industry. It was like a book, and like it kind of it like from the journalist that exposed like the meat industry. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? It's like a very famous book. When can I ask my question? You can type your question now, just like so it could be here. Thank you, Origin Foods. I go live kind of like every day in the mornings, but today I did it at night because I couldn't go live in the morning. But I'll be live tomorrow, um, around like 11 a.m. I've seen Earthlings on YouTube, and that is brutal. I choose to not watch anything like that because I don't know. I don't know. I just can't. Starry Night, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's get back to this. Okay, I'm gonna make a list here. So it's gonna be para the pen and then JV X77. Type your question, please, if you want. And then Francis friend where you at? Francis John. Positive Bear. Starry Night. Mm-mm-mm. Story night. Sorry night. Okay, that's what I have. Let me know if I missed anybody. Okay, does Sophia love slash have romantic feelings towards you right now? Oh yeah, sure. The Jungle Book? I don't think I'm talking about the Jungle Book. It was like that journalistic book that kind of it was like the very first books ever that it's like investigative journalism or something. Okay. Uh wait, okay, Sophia. Okay, this is Sophia. This is you, and then between the both of you. Okay, do they have romantic feelings towards you? I think that they are in this position of having to decide what it is that they want or who they want. I think that they might be interested in like more than one person. Because again, this is like amorous relationships and like emotional entanglement between many people, and like them kind of being put in this position where they need to make a choice or they need to disengage. And again, like this is in context of you also. So again, I feel like they are in this position of do they want to keep going? Like do they want to keep talking to you, or like do they want to like being in this position of being around you, or should they disengage? Because again, this is like a person kind of being caught in a situation where there's multiple people, and then also uh the the juggler in reverse, which is trickery, cheating, showing off, pretending, lack of self-awareness. I don't know, like to me this para deban, I don't think they know what they want, and I feel like they might be playing with like emotions here because yeah, like the juggler, this is like a person tricking somebody. This is a person pretending to do something, and then they also have this lack of self awareness. And I feel like you might be kind of holding this too close to your heart, or like you are holding this relationship too close to you that it's kind of like um I don't know. It's like it's putting you in this position of like not really guarding your own privacy, but it's kind of like you hold things too securely and too like you hold two things too like with too much strength that it kind of it becomes um like too in strong feelings held under control. I do think maybe you are kind of guarding your own privacy, or like kind of guarding your like assets, or like how you truly feel like you are controlling, or like you have a strong grip on how it is that you feel, and how you can and how you share emotions, and how you communicate these emotions to them. Showing off. And then but between the both of you, we have the House of God, and this is all about like rapid change, but it is also about kind of being pushed to being pushed to like to break. Like this is all about like kind of returning to solid ground, and to return to stability, or like to return to reality. This is a sudden breakthrough after long preparations that do spark desire between the both of you. So I do things. I feel like between the both of you that something is gonna happen, because like this is also about becoming free from confined spaces, against sudden breakthroughs, breaking up of a solid structure, and kind of just returning to a solid ground. So again, like to me, it's kind of like the house is kind of like breaking down and falling apart. Um, for that kind of offers the opportunity to rebuild something. So again, with something kind of sparking between the both of you, I do think so. Again, I think that right now they are kind of being pushed to make a choice about how they feel, or if they about like if they should keep engaging with you, or if they should disengage and kind of choose a new direction. What else do they have? Yeah, there's a lot of like internal struggle here. This is about them kind of going back and forth without making any real progress, and them kind of losing patience because this feels like a very lengthy process. A lot of emotional preoccupation with themselves, and I don't know, maybe you feel like that they are pushing you away because of this. But again, the temperance card in reverse, this is just somebody who kind of pushes people away who are trying to help them. But I do think that they are kind of just having a hard time kind of deciding what their next move should be. But again, between the both of you, there's a spark of something new, and like new creation being built. So again, to me this is a yes. To me this feels like a yes. And then Javi, you want guidance about your energy. You want guidance. So just a general message for you. Thank you. Yes, of course. Mm-mm-mm. Aquarian Light, hi, how are you? Cinnamon Bun, hi, how are you? How are you guys? Okay, so guidance for JB. Yes, Cinnamon, drop the question. Any, Aquarium Light, need to drop your question. Okay, Javi? Oh, okay, so situation, obstacle, and solution for guidance. Okay, the main situation here, it's this like inability for you to share, or like there's like a weird isolation issue going on. Like this is like your own inability to act, your own inability to kind of decide, and this is also like you kind of pretending to be, or like to striving to be normal at all costs, and again like living in your own private and imaginary reality instead of looking at a situation, or like instead of you um looking at a situation for like what it truly is. Again, like this is just like you um living in a private and imaginary reality. So that's the situation here. mm, this could also be like the emotional sense of a victim, because like this is all about like maybe you put yourself in this situation, and now you are kind of wanting to like not accept the situation. And again, like you kind of you put yourself in this situation, um like you compromise something, and it's like this inability for you to move, in an inability for you to act, and again denying your, like denying something. The main obstacle again, it's this Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords, it's a limited, a limited space for, again, I feel like you put yourself in this situation and it's not allowing you to grow. It's not, it's like a limited space for development and for like maneuver and like movement just in general. Like this is you kind of about trying to push against constraints, and like present limitations are becoming like reality in a way. But again, this is like your own, like, I don't know, like to me it's like you did this to yourself. Like you put yourself in this position of like limits. The solution here, it's this Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords, it is a card of like you need to kind of push yourself out of this. This is like a forward thrust that becomes about overcoming existing limits. Like it's so funny because the this is like 4 and 5. Again, 4, it's like limits, and you kind of like wanting to grow inside the limits that you put yourself in. If you want to get out of this, you need to do it yourself. Again, the 5, you can see a sword kind of cutting through these limits, and kind of and cutting through these, and cutting through this tight situation. Do things your own way. I feel like maybe you are, I don't know if you want somebody else to do it, or like you, if you want help from somebody else, but like this is telling you that you need to do this yourself, because you also have the World card, and it is in reverse. And the World card, it like this is just a card about you should not be like sharing your own world with others. um you need to be more preoccupied with yourself, um and you need to kind of live life in a, like in a little bubble here. I don't know why it's like it's sounding so mean, but again, like only because there's a disconnect between your own inner feelings from the external life. I feel like that's like a good thing. Like what's that saying, like about like not airing like dirty laundry. Like you need to, like sometimes things need to be kept private and hidden, and sometimes you need to resolve things in private. And like to me, this is what it is for you. No, positive bear. This is for JVX77. But yeah, I really do think that you put yourself in this situation. Um, and you need to get yourself out of this situation yourself. You need to kind of like disconnect from the outside world, and be more preoccupied with yourself. Like you, I don't know, maybe you kind of lost this idealized self-image that you have, and internally that's where you have this inability for you to move forward. But yeah, that's kind of what I got for you here. Jocelyn, hi, how are you? Okay, okay, Francis John, and then after Francis John, it's gonna be Positive Bear. Okay, thank you. Yes, JVX77, of course. Okay, after Positive Bear, it's Starry Night, and then Cinnamon Bun and Aquarian Light. Jocelyn. Okay, Francis John. Francis John. Any new guidance or something exciting for Francis, please? Any guidance? Something exciting. Let's do what is an exciting message for you? Exciting message. Exciting message. Okay, we can pull more cards if we need to. Okay, the Queen of Wands in reverse and then the Six of Swords. Okay, so exciting message here. Or like what can you expect? Something exciting that you can expect. Okay, so with the Queen of Wands, the Six of Swords, that is adaptation, accepting limitations, adapting yourself to those limitations, and kind of respecting the present. A compromise for you to make the best out of an exist. I feel like the tensions between like you and like it could be like if it's not like a woman, then it's like a female energy here. I feel like those tensions are like kind of ending. Um, because this is how you accepting limitations and how you adapt yourself to these limitations. And like maybe you kind of being offered a compromise in order to make the best out of an existing situation, and this situation is about like a female, like a person who is like maybe like intimidating, or a person who seems controlling, or who mm, or like a person who's like afraid of like a feminine power here. What is this? Okay, we can do the world card in a bit, but um the hermit is attached to this um intimidation into it could also even be like a menace, but like tensions are like a compromise is happening between you and like this intimidation and in this like other person who maybe um it could be like your mother, maybe, I don't know, because again the Queen of Wands, it's like a feminine power who is like maybe like intimidating, or it could be like a very strong like female energy here. This is connected to the hermit, and this is just about looking at the essence of things, and this like quest of for like a truth and spiritual understanding, and concentrating on a very clear purpose. So I feel like intimidation could be like a female energy. I feel like they did a lot of like soul searching, and they are kind of offering a compromise, or like they are kind of like these tensions are starting to like disappear in a way, because again the Six of Swords is also like a card of surrender, but it is mostly about offering a compromise that uh you know um uh, that offers a compromise in order to make the best out of an existing situation. Now the World card, again, this is like cycles finally ending, cycles, a completion of a process, and it is also about like a very balanced activities and achievements in various domains and contact. with far places. I don't know if that could mean. I mean, it's just really about like harmony and like finding a balance between like very hard and or like even uh like with different planes, just finding that harmony. Something something new beginning to happen, like a birth of a new thing. Whatever this is, it is gonna be like the end of that process. It's gonna feel very balanced and very like unifying in a way. Like to me, it's almost like a full circle type of situation, only because you're going to be like adapting to this new change, and it's going to be I mean, you do have the world cards, like maybe you could be kind of experiencing a whole new like world, or like a new experience to this. Like I do see that growing, but like tensions are kind of coming to an end, and a compromise is going to be like offered to you to make the best out of an existing situation with a person. um I still don't know what this like intimidation is. I think it's like female energy, but then with the king of could it be like internal intimidation? Maybe you feel intimidated by, or like maybe you are intimidating something. Because I mean, the hermit is like things kept hidden, and things that we not really kept hidden, but things that we search for. And then with the king of wands here, the king of wands in reverse again. This is like the like your own plans to move forward kind of becoming frustrated by self-defeating acts. And like this is also like a tendency for you to make things too heavy and too complex. Maybe this is what you are um getting over, or like maybe this is what's coming to an end. This inability for you to move forward, and how you make things too heavy and too complex for yourself. Maybe you have reached that point of you're going to be able to grow out of this. Something with intimidation, something with intimidation that's not really allowing you to to move forward. I feel like that's what's coming to an end here. Francis John. Present limitations, new harmony, and like a new world kind of being offered to you. Uh, 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 uh. Positive bear. I think you asked for guidance, right? A guided message. Let me make a new list. Positive bear, and then Starry Night, cinnamon bun, aquarium lights, aquarian light, and then Jocelyn, Jocelyn. Okay, I think that was it, right? Let me turn off my banner. Okay. Opponent's question. Yes, please post the question. Okay, positive bear. What is some guided? What's the message that you need to know? A message that you need to know, or a message that you need to hear, right? Okay, so what is this message about? Okay, what is this message about? We have this Page of Swords in reverse. So this message, it's about, you know what? I feel like you might have said something, or like this is about like how you use like your own tools, and how they were used to cause damage. A lot of like confusion, like negative thoughts. It could be even like self defeat, but I think this is like your sloppy way of how you use your own tools to cause damage. That's what this like message is kind of about. And then we have the again this Four of Swords. If it's not something that you said, then this is like again like you kind of causing this a limited space, this space of restrictions, and kind of forcing yourself to grow in this space. This is a lot of like uh again like your own potential to grow, or like you how you want something to grow. It's not able to grow because you are not able to use your own like tools, or like your own qualities, or your own like own negative thoughts. It's not allowing this to grow. Again, like this could be like you kind of wanting something to happen, wanting something to grow, but you are like leaning to growth, but instead you are like your own negative thoughts are causing this 10 of wands. And the 10 of wands, this is, it could be like about a partnership, like an alliance that endures hardships, and is like very successful in kind of getting over those hardships. But this is kind of about how you, like this is like your pure intentions and your perseverance, and how that leads to success, and you kind of honoring your own principles in spite of hard times, or like in spite of difficult times. But I think because this message is about like about your own like tools, I guess, or like how you like your own words, your own ideas, your language, like things that are yours being used to cause harm, putting you, and it's like leaning on restrictions, it's like leaning on your inability to grow, because you kind of created these um limitations, and you kind of created this box that you are kind of being forced to be inside of, and like you are kind of forcing yourself to grow. And then with the 10 of wands, again, this is, maybe it's like it's been happening for a while, because again the 10 of wands has to do with loyalty, and it has to do with your pure intentions and your own perseverance, and how you like how it ends in a success. But it doesn't look like it's good success. Five, breakthrough, kind of cutting through things. I think something that you had loyalty to, it's not, I don't know if you like created your own like a restriction around that, but now like this is telling you that you need to cut through that and you need to break out of, again, we have the four of swords, which is about restrictions and limitations, and about kind of being forced to grow. I feel like optimism isn't really going to help you here, because again, like this kind of reminds me of like always saying that like life is gonna fix itself, or like life has a way of fixing things, but like this is kind of telling you like it's like you need to use like the same way you use your own tools to cause damage, you can use those tools to cut through current restrictions. Current restrictions. Yeah, because the five of swords, it's kind of it's about you using a tool to cut through and a breakthrough and forcing yourself to break out of the restrictions. And then the seven of swords, which again, these are all like things that you say to yourself, or like ideas, um language, swords is like the um like air signs, um or qualities of the air. So again, like fire. Okay, yeah, but the seven of swords, it's like the sharpness of the mind, having a very focused and determined attitude, and having a concentrated and clear goal, and doing whatever it takes to reach that goal. Again, this is all about you winning a fight against the odds, very evenly balanced. So again, these both of these cards are about cutting through. Again, this just kind of reminds me of like you need to the same way you can use words to cause damage, you can use the same, like you can use language to break out of out of situations, especially because there's so much loyalty. And again, this is like a partnership that kind of endures hardships and it's very successful in getting over those um hardships, but you can't be too dependent on that to fix situations. Sometimes you need to like have your own strength and really just cut through things. Positive um bear. Okay, sorry night. Did Daniel not speak to Faria because he likes me? Thanks a lot. Yes, of course. Positive bear. Did that make sense to you, positive bear? Because I feel like I don't know if it made sense to me. It kind of like reminded me of like, you know how like sometimes you get in a fight with like somebody close to you and you don't say sorry because you know that deep down like that person's not, it's not going to be upset with you, but like you still feel bad because you got in a fight, and even though like it doesn't change anything in the relationship, there's still like a need to say sorry, like there's still a need to like be honest. Like I don't know, like that's kind of what it reminds me of. I don't know if that's what it is, but yeah, that's what I got for you. Okay, Starry Night. A question: did Daniel not speak to Faria because he likes me? Did Daniel not speak? Okay, okay. Yeah, that I think that makes more sense. If you want positive bear after this, we can do a cartomancy read just to like actually get more insights. Okay, so did Daniel not speak to Faria because he likes me? Okay, wait. I feel like I don't know if okay, sorry night. The King of Coins and then the King of Cups. The King of Cups is in reverse. The King of Coins has to do with like their own confidence and how secure they feel. This is like somebody with a cautious and optimistic vision. This is all about a person kind of looking for a new achievement but still kind of wanting to keep what they have. And then the King of Cups in reverse, this is them kind of having a hard time overcoming emotional blows, and it's like having like a pessimistic outlook caused by negative past experiences. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of like a person who is like they already have you. What more can I get? Did Daniel not speak to Faria because he likes me? I'm gonna say it's a yes. Like they like what they have and they want more without losing what they already have. And then again with the King of Cups, that's just like somebody who has a hard time overcoming like issues or like overcoming emotions. A pessimistic outlook caused by negative past experiences. He doesn't have me though. I feel like I don't know. It kind of feels like they do wants to lose you. No, it's not really like that. There's still like hope there, or like they feel like that there's still hope because the star card. This is like someone who's very like who is doing things from a very pure source and kind of showing themselves as they are. They kind of have already kind of accepted their own desires. Um, and again like this is just a person who kind of is acting their desires and kind of doing this with hope. Again, they are not really sure if it's going to lead anywhere because again this is a person who kind of is just um pouring out and kind of hoping that it leads some like that hoping that it leads someplace. But they are doing this with hope, they are doing this with like this is like they have accepted their desires, they are acting on those desires even if they don't know if it's going to lead um someplace. And with the King of Coins, again, this is a person who is holding on to what they have, not wanting to lose that, and still kind of going in for more. um and then with the again with the King of Cups, this is having a hard time overcoming emotional blows. Like this could be maybe like having a hard time um getting over. like past emotions. That's what it could be. But again, I think that he still like has some sort of like feeling of it's wrong for me to talk to her. Like you know what I mean? It this is like I know what I have, or like I know what I had with, like this is like them saying, I know what I have with you, or like what I had with you. I don't want to lose that, and I'm like, and I want more of that. Like, does that make sense to you? It's kind of like it's like I have this, and I'm sitting very secure, and I'm like happy with what I have. I want to look like I'm looking for the future. Like I want more of what I currently have. And then it's like I have like a hard time kind of with emotional blows, like facing reality, or not really facing reality, but like I have like this like inability to deal with emotions, and I'm gonna keep pouring myself out, and I have kind of accepted this desire that I have. I'm gonna keep pouring out until it leads someplace. Does that make sense? I don't think he likes her, no. But like I don't think it's like he didn't speak, or like man, maybe it could be. But like I don't think it's like he didn't speak to her because of you. It's kind of like not speaking to her because they don't want to like make it look like they have moved on from what they have. But yes, Friday night, that's what I got for you. Do you think it's the same thing? Maybe it is. No, but like okay, the way that I think I said it, I think it's like I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this. Yeah, it's kind of like I'm not doing this because of you. I'm doing this because, well, like yeah, it could be, but like I feel like the intention is different. Like because it's not really, they're not doing this because you are telling them to not, or like because it's like a rule. It's kind of like my own loyalty. It's telling me to not do this. Like you know what I mean? Like that's kind of what it is. I feel like it's not like I feel like okay, I feel like the way that you are like saying it, it's like very like black and like you know what I mean? It's like very like is it this or that? And it's kind of like well, it's like a little bit of all of them. But like it's it's not because they it's okay. It's not because they don't like, um, it's not because he doesn't like her. Like it could be anybody, but it's not like, oh, because it's her, I don't like her and I'm not gonna talk. It's more like I have this desire that I'm kind of working on. It's like, okay, like imagine you are like working on yourself and somebody comes in and they're like, "Hey, like do you want to do this?" And you tell them no. It's not because you don't like them, it's because you're you are like you are focusing on something else. Like does that make sense? But it's not because you don't like them. And even though like you are going to tell them no, it's not because you don't like them, it's because you are focusing on something else. So like yeah, like the feeling of like it's not really, or like the feeling of dislike, it's not something that came into their mind that made them decide. Like does that make sense? It's like um the feelings of likability weren't used to make a decision, I guess. I feel like that's like the best way for me to explain it. Like the feeling of like wasn't used to make a choice. Because I feel like they would have said no, or like I feel like they would have had the same reaction to not just this situation but like with other situations. Even though weird because I am a bit like that. So he liked other people. Yeah, I feel like they do like other people, but he's focusing on me. I feel like in a way, yes. Okay. Cinnamon Bun, Aquarian Light, Jocelyn. I know you guys type your questions. Okay. Would a romantic relationship between Drake and I work out, and do you see us getting together the end of July? Okay, thanks. Yes, of course, right night. Okay, is a romantic relationship between Drake and you gonna work out? Is this gonna work out? So that's them, you, and then between the both of you. I don't think they were lying to you. I think you are a little bit like hesitant here. Okay, first of all, they have this Page of Cups. This is the very first nurture step in a romantic relationship. This is again how they feel, their intentions, their energy, all of that. This is them. Page of Cups, again, the very first nurture step into a romantic relationship. This is also them kind of perhaps being a little bit shy. Um I they do have sincere intentions though. I think what's going on is that they're trying to figure out their own intentions. Yes, they have feelings, and this again, this is the very first and unsure step in a like relationship. But again, they are kind of questioning their own feelings. Like they're just trying to figure out their own feelings out. So again, I don't think that they're not. I don't think they're lying to you here. I think that they are being very honest. If anything, I think you might be the one who has some sort of hesitation because you have the two of coins. This is collaboration while still keeping distance. So maybe you are like, yes, you do kind of recognize and you do acknowledge this, like them and their feelings and their emotions, but again, maybe I don't know why there's like something at a distance. You want something to happen at a distance. Um, what is this? You want something to happen at a distance. Lamont, which is uh okay, so Lamont here, this is all about like, you kind of getting lost in your own foolish behavior, um, lack of you accepting the social environment, and like you having a hard time choosing and committing yourself to something with stability. I feel like this is like okay, if this is at a distance, if you want collaboration at a distance, it's because it's because there's this like you keep getting lost in what the purpose of this is. I feel like when like if they are trying to figure out their own emotions, you are like kind of questioning like if this is even a good thing. You know what I mean? Like this is like you kind of not being able to accept like the social environment and keeping that at a distance. Maybe like this is like you keeping yourself at bay. Maybe that's why there's like distance between yourself and like that lack of clear purpose. And again, like the like you just having a hard time kind of planning ahead. But between the both of you, again, there is breakthrough. There is kind of like cutting through something, and um like this is like keeping on fighting, overcoming existing limits and kind of doing things your own way. So I do think there's going to be a lot of like movement, a lot of like breakthrough happening between the both of you. There's also this King of Cups in reverse, which is all about um like not being able to let this go. Again, this is like having like not having a hard time, but just difficulties in overcoming emotions. So again, I don't think you guys are going to be able to let this go. There's going to be breakthrough happening between the both of you, but again, maybe they're just being somewhat shy and they are kind of questioning their own not really questioning their own intentions, but trying to figure out their own emotions. You are the one who has um not really like hesitation, but you do have a hard time kind of committing yourself to something with stability. Or like maybe you are afraid that this isn't going to have stability. So you are again keeping yourself at bay, and like you kind of want this distance to happen. But yeah, to me this is a yes. To me this is a yes. Aquarian light. How does Jeff feel about you? How does Jeff feel about you? How does Jeff feel about you? Okay, so that's Jeff. This is you. Again, between the both of you. Yes, of course, cinnamon bun. Okay, how do they feel about you? They have this two of swords, which is, how do they feel about you? Um, I feel like they kind of feel like that they still need to kind of keep their boundaries up. I feel like they're not really sure because again, this is like they are kind of putting limits and kind of protecting something because they kind of feel like it still needs to develop better or more. um Again, this is like them kind of preparing for a future advancement, and like they seem to have a very clear view of the overall situation. But I do think that they feel like that they still need to kind of keep their boundaries up and kind of limit things. So maybe if you're not seeing movement from them, it's because like they are doing this on purpose, like they don't want to perhaps move too fast. um but again, they are kind of putting up these limits to protect something that's still in development. I between the both of you, again, the Six of Cups just means that there's going to be a lot of repetition in this relationship. So I don't think it's gonna end anytime soon. This is all about continuity. Again, a long term relationship, and you're gonna feel, or like right now you kind of feel like, okay, I don't know why you feel like if this is already like the end of it, or like not really the end of it, but like you kind of feel like like this is something that's going to stay, because you kind of feel like you feel like this is like a completion of a process, and you feel like how it is now, you kind of think that that's how it's going to stay. Again, this is just you kind of living in your own reality. You also have this 4, 5, 6, 7 of coins in reverse, and this is just about like your lack of independence, you needing to rely on somebody else, or like even you feeling like you need acceptance from them. But again, I don't think nothing like has changed between the both of you. If anything, this is like a long term continuity of something. But again, they are kind of doing this to set limits and to set boundaries because they feel like still like things still need to develop between the both of you. Aquarian lights. Jocelyn, do I see your stress easing? Thanks. Do I see your stress easing? See. Thanks. Yes, of course. Ukrainian light. Okay. Hmm. Okay, do I see your stress easing? The situation here, the Three of Wands, which is, I do think so. Like if anything, like the Three of Wands kind of has to do with direction and about like moving forward after moments of hesitation, trying to find the middle path between two courses of action. And that's going to help you kind of like gain advantage um by keeping your neutrality between two courses of action. I think that your stress is gonna ease, but also you're gonna gain an advantage by maybe not overthinking, perhaps. Like this is like it kind of reminds me of like youth, like keep thinking of two separate situations and like the end goal of those two situations. I think that by you keeping your own neutrality between these two things, and by not like not by not thinking, but by not kind of engaging so deep um with those two things, I think you are going to gain an advantage, and you are going to kind of ease your stress here. um with the Six of Wands has to do with, again, like there's a need for you to break up these two like emotions, these two, almost forgot to say thank, no, yeah, it's okay, it's okay. Cinnamon bun. um but Jocelyn, again, there's a need for you to kind of um like disengage, and there's a need for you to break up the way that you think about these two courses of action. But yeah, I do think so. In the future position, you do have this Six of Coins, which is all about abundance and success and expansion, and all the possible ways for you to advance. So this is also about like you kind of having more resources, and just having a more positive outlook against success, and finding a very good balance between your own stability and your own movement. So I feel like right now you are in this Six of Wands, which is you are excessively trying to figure out maybe like the outcome of two or more options, when what you should really be doing is just to keep your own neutrality between these two things, and kind of just letting things be. Don't like, yes, it's good that you think about these things, but I feel like you might be overdoing that. But yeah, in the future position, yeah, it's the Six of Coins, which is, again, success and expansion, abundance, having a positive outlook, and again, you having that good balance between your own stability, and how you decide to move forward. So to me, that is a yes. Yes, Jocelyn. To me, that's a yes. Mm, okay, but this was, I've been on how long? For 2 hours. That's crazy. Uh, uh, um. But again, everybody, I'm gonna get off now. So everybody, thank you for all of the likes. Thank you for all of the new subs. Thank you for the questions. I'm gonna be on again tomorrow, and probably in the morning time, or I don't know. I kind of liked being live at night, but I'll be on tomorrow. So again, everybody, thank you, and bye, everybody.